Hello, welcome to the Famous for Nothing podcast episode. I forget the episode every time.
32?
Maybe. But hey, this is the Resident Evil podcast part 2.
There you go.
I know that for sure. So, welcome back if you did watch the last Resident Evil episode. Can't tell you exactly where we left off. Was his name Bobby?
His name was Barry.
Barry, okay.
Yeah.
So something happened to Barry. Barry's acting really weird.
He's acting pretty flaky, yeah.
He's acting kind of weird. And then we had to cut off right there, and I kind of want to know what happened. So I had to open that on the mic too.
All right.
Also, if you're watching this, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, good.
If you're watching this on the live stream, then it will sound and look a lot better once the video is actually posted to YouTube. So just want to let people know.
Yeah, and this is the first episode we're actually streaming.
First streaming episode, so there's going to be problems.
There might be some
sure.
hiccups. It's fine.
But
You want to go ahead and plug that in a little bit more? Looks like it might fall.
yes, sir.
There you go. Oh, I love these lights. They're awesome.
They are awesome.
Let's see. Well, I don't know if I have any announcement or news or anything. I do know Resident Evil Village is getting DLC soon. I just don't know when. They don't have a release date.
When did Resident Evil Village come out?
May of 2021. So they're kind of, they didn't expect to make DLC. So, but the fans received it so well, they're actually making some.
Story-wise? Like, is it going into the story more?
I would think so. The last one of 7 did. So I would think so, but I have no idea. I do know, again, Resident Evil 2, 3, and 7 are getting facelifts on the new consoles. Netflix is kind of shitting themselves right now with their subscription going up. They're starting to cut a lot of shit, so I don't know if the Resident Evil show is going to be doing so good on there. That's really all the announcement stuff I got so far.
You was telling me before we sat down that the Resident Evil, not Resident Evil, sorry, the Netflix subscription service is going up to $30 a month.
Yeah.
Are you sure that, what plan? Because there's different plans they have.
I believe, let me go look real quick before I start saying shit. I just hope this doesn't mess with anything.
Oh, you're fine.
I'll go ahead and...
That's like double the price.
Yeah. Which is really stupid because I don't think it's worth it, in my opinion. We'll look real quick. Let me see here.
And while you look that up, who is that character that was the first day on her job and her plane, her helicopter, like, crashed?
That is Rebecca Chambers.
Rebecca is still my favorite so far.
Is it now?
Yes.
You'd like Resident Evil 0 then?
It's just the idea of it being your first day on a job and you have all this experienced people with you who are total badasses, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But it's your first day, and then the worst that could happen just happens.
So far, right now, it's still $20, but I think eventually it will go up to $30. Even at $20 a month, though, you can get Disney Plus for like $7 right now, like $6 or $7, and you get new Marvel releases.
True.
So I don't think it's worth it, but I think it's gonna go up to $30 eventually. But anyways, if you like Rebecca, you're gonna love Leon, because that's the same story with Leon too.
I don't know, man. You can't just rehash it as a male character. But I do know everyone loves Leon. Everybody.
I hope we get to the second game in this one, but I have no idea. But what do you remember last so far?
Oh, jeez. I remember getting past the part where the roof is falling down, and just because I remember seeing that like before, and I was like, I seen that as a kid. I think I told that story. I saw it as a kid. I was like, I don't know what the game this is, but I really like it. That's the scene that I saw. And then apparently that's also the part where the famous "you're gonna be a Jill sandwich" happens.
Yeah.
So.
By the way, Jose will be missed. He couldn't show up.
Rip.
Right?
It'd be alright.
If you're watching this, come over here. Quit fucking around. Let's see. I have a few more screenshots, but I'm basically going to use it for the dialogue because I don't remember it word for word. You said Barry was acting flaky. Did we get to Jill's conversation with Wesker yet?
I have no idea.
Well, I guess we can kind of start there. Once I get
I think my girlfriend's trying to call me because the phone is vibrating.
Is it? Oh god.
Yeah. It's not messing up the stream though, so.
I mean, that's just gonna be weird. It's gonna maybe fuck up the audio. You wanna wait till it's done?
No, it's fine. But yeah, I don't remember what was happening with.
All right, so I'll kind of do a quick retelling. Basically, you end up in the mansion. Chris is gone. Yet your main quest is to look for Chris and get out of the mansion.
Yeah, because sorry, I'm trying to rehash.
You're good.
Chris went off on his own, right?
Well, you all were running towards the mansion, and the only ones in the mansion that are alive that you could see is Wesker, Barry, and Jill.
Mm-hmm.
Chris fucked off. We don't know where Chris is right now. And honestly, Chris doesn't come into effect until much, much later. Oh, that's gross. So y'all end up in the mansion. You start exploring. Barry is kind of a dick because he's like, oh, you're alive. Okay. Well, we should split up. Oh, you're alive. Well, you go do this. I'm going to go do this. Mm-hmm. He's constantly splitting up from you. There's only a few times where he helps you out. Like with the first zombie, you can have him help you out, which is very useful.
And you said he has a huge gun too, right?
Yeah, it's called the Silver Serpent. It's a big-ass revolver, and on the cutscenes, it's a pussy. It doesn't do nothing. Like 3 to 4 shots will kill a zombie. In gameplay, whenever you're able to use it, because they use the same model for the Magnum, it's like 1 or 2 shots. So it's like nerfed.
Well, Resident Evil 5 is the only one I played, so I know the Magnum in that game is a fucking beast.
It's basically the same thing.
I remember shooting it, and when you shoot it, it goes over your head. You're like,
yeah, with Chris's big-ass arms, it's still, yeah. I love 5 too. There's actually, I think the Book of 5 is down there if you can see it.
Oh, no, I don't think it shows up, but...
Also, Resident Evil 5 is also on Nintendo Switch.
Nice.
So is 4 and 6. And a lot of other ones. Let's see. So, you end up in the mansion, you get split up. Wesker is kind of nowhere to be seen after your first initial going in. You explore. Did I tell you about Lisa Trevor? You remember the name?
I remember the name, but I don't remember.
Basically, she's kind of like a reappearing boss enemy. I'm going to say an event enemy. She constantly shows up every now and again. Her story is very... I thought it was buzzing again.
I know.
And let's see here. Okay, we're going to do the dialogue between Wesker. We'll start from there. But you keep meeting up with Barry. He's acting weird, but you're kind of just brushing it off like, okay, it's just a circumstance, whatever. The last time you talk to Barry is talking to himself, kind of like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can, acting really weird. And once you confront him, he's like, oh, it's just my age. It's you do this whenever you get to my age. And he's like fucking 38.
Okay,
like
I was going to say 37.
Yeah, he's not that old, but, he's kind of acting weird. But... at a certain point, I have so many screenshots. You end up meeting Wesker. He's firing some shots in the hallway, as what you usually do. And Jill's like, oh, you're safe. You're okay. And he's like, yeah, you too. And he's like, I'm sorry I had to see that. I was just using it to protect myself, kind of thing. And she's like, oh, I understand. I do the same thing. And let's see. And Wesker's like, you notice Barry's kind of off, right? And she's like, yeah, what's that all about? He goes, well, just, keep your eye on him. He's just kind of acting weird. And he's like, well, we're going to split up now. And then you split up, basically. It's just, there's a lot of dialogue here, but it doesn't really, it's like, oh, this mansion's so huge and kind of thing. So it's not really that big.
So why does Barry want to keep splitting up?
Oh, that's a question.
Just because?
Right now, just because.
Okay.
Let's see. You then walk away from Wesker. You keep exploring. You end up in an outside alley. That's where you hear over the radio, come in stars, alpha stars, from your radio. It says, you reply, this is Jill, and it's Brad. The first guy that brought you to the mansion, or to the forest, he's still circling everywhere, trying to figure out if there's any survivors. And you can't hear you because you're so far in the forest. There's no reception. And that's kind of hinting that that's like a big goal is to find Chris and get out. So your way out is Brad, bringing the helicopter down. So let's see. I'm trying to go to the next cutscene.
So they were relying on Brad to get them out, right?
Yep, right now.
So what happens if Brad just, he calls and he's like, "Hey, anybody there?" And they just can't get a hold of him, and Brad just leaves.
That's the question.
It makes me think of Dead Rising, like the dude.
Oh yeah, if you don't do it in time, you're just screwed.
Yeah, like they're just there.
So you end up in an elevator. I say you end up. Again, I'm not the most familiar with this game. It's their later ones, but you're still exploring. You're getting pieces to puzzles, going one place, getting there, going back here, ending this puzzle, going back over here. A lot of back and forth, but eventually you do progress, and you end up in a elevator. And Barry shows up. Again, saying, "I'm glad you're safe. I'm glad you're okay." And Barry's like, "Well, I heard a noise. That's what brought me down here." And she's like, "Well, and one way to find out where it is," and you go down. You end up underground, and you hear the noise again. Kind of chains rattling, booming. And Barry's like, why don't you go check that out? You go check that out.
You as Jill.
Jill. Like, yeah, go check that out. And she's like, all right, I'll go check it out. And while you're not looking, he goes back in the elevator and goes back up. And basically fucks you up.
Was it supposed to be like a funny scene or a serious
Oh, no,
scene?
it's serious. He screws you up. Like, you go in, like, you exit the elevator, and while you're not looking, he goes back in and goes back up. So he's, like, kind of leaving you there.
So, is Barry a bad guy?
He could be. You never know. But he is kind of acting a little strange. And the creature you're hearing is Lisa again. Which, I don't know if I mentioned this last one. You can't kill Lisa. You can't. She always constantly regenerates. So you have to get around her or find a way to damage her enough to kind of stun her to walk around her. You can't kill her.
So wait, explain who Lisa is again. Sorry.
Lisa is the daughter of George and Jessica Draper.
So is she like a zombie too?
She's a special infected. She reacted to the T-virus a lot differently, and she's able to regenerate. Don't worry, she doesn't play too big of a part. So,
but okay, what I was gonna say is I never played Resident Evil 4, but I do know about the iconic chainsaw man with a mask, and he can't be killed either, right?
No, the chainsaw guy can. It's the regenerators that are almost damn near impossible to kill.
So I was gonna ask if it's like one in every game, like an unkillable boss.
Kinda. You know how there's always a big enemy that always seems unkillable. 1 had Lisa. 2, I don't want to say it. 3, of course, is Nemesis.
Yeah, I've heard that name.
4 is probably... 4 was weird. It kind of changed everything.
Chainsaw Man.
I would say the chainsaw dude. 5 is the big ass dude with the axe.
Nah, I don't know what you're talking about. I played the game.
Basically the Silent Hill ripoff of Pyramid Head.
Nah, who are you talking about?
In Resident Evil 5?
Yeah.
It was basically him, or maybe, you see the chainsaw dude twice.
I don't remember a guy with the axe, though.
Here, I'll show you a picture real quick.
Dang.
Do you not, man?
No, I played that game so much, but, I don't know.
Hang on, if I show it to you, it might spark some memories. He has, a sack on his head. Hang on. I'll show you.
Oh, wait, I think I know exactly what you're talking about. Never mind. Let's see.
You remember that?
No.
Do you not?
I thought I did for a minute. I totally do not.
He's basically the ripoff. But yeah,
okay.
Every one of them has a kind of unstoppable beast, and Lisa is the one in this game.
Oh, we got a comment.
Do we?
Woo!
What's he got?
I don't know. It's too far for me to read.
Here, I'll see if I can read it real quick.
You're good.
Oh, that's fine. It's by TJ. And it says, the ginger guy's cute.
The who's cute?
The ginger guy's cute.
Oh, thank you.
You got a little stalker. It's okay.
I would show a nipple, but I don't want to get banned.
All right. And at this point, most of the zombies are replaced by these reptilian creatures called hunters. Do you know about hunters?
No.
Hunters are faster, stronger, and much more ferocious beasts. And they're just a pain in the ass to kill. Let me see if I can show you a picture. It's not really a picture of like that does justice, but it's those creatures. Big claws and stuff. They're mean.
When I think of hunters, I think of Left 4 Dead.
Kinda. Just more screwed up. Okay, so this is a cool part. Again, solving puzzles, going through. I have all the freaking screenshots, but that would take forever. So you're going through the mansion again, and you hear a voice. And the voice sounds like a man named Enrico. Enrico, I believe, is the captain of Alpha Team. Or Bravo Team. So you investigate, and it is Enrico. And he's trying to tell you, stop, is anybody with you? And she's like, no, I'm alone. And he's like, there's someone in Stars that's turned. Stars was set up. And, this is all Umbrella's doing.
Okay, so me playing 5 and seeing...
You're kind of ruined for some of this, but...
Yeah, so I kind of already know, spoiler, it's Wesker, right? It has to be. But why is Barry acting like he's the one that he's against?
Well, hopefully I will be able to tell you.
Okay.
So Enrico is telling you, Umbrella set us up, which is true. Wesker set you up. This was meant for you to die. And, as he's telling you this, a gunshot goes off and the bullet goes in him and kills him. Someone shot from behind you to kill Enrico. You look behind you, no one's there. Of course. And you're like, well, shit.
Wait, so is Rico, is he like Hispanic?
Enrico, yes.
Damn, Jose, you picked a bad time not to show up. He been all over that shit. Go ahead.
Well, actually, the first dude that actually died, the first dude that died by a zombie was technically Kenneth, which was a black dude.
But dude did get shot in the back.
No.
That's fucked up. That's another level of fucked up.
And whenever you analyze them or go up to investigate them, it says whoever did this definitely is a professional.
Wait, hold up. So you was talking to him, right? And he got shot in the back.
Well, he's shot in the chest because you're talking to him like face to face.
Yeah.
He's laying on the ground, so you're trying to see what's up, what's going on with him. He's telling you all this information. Somebody behind you pulls the trigger, goes past you, and shoots Enrico. I'm not saying they're trying to shoot you, but it kills him, right there in front of you. You turn around, no one's there.
Motherfucker, run!
Right?
They still gotta be there. What? How are you just gonna be like, okay, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine.
The fuck? Find out who it is.
So, we're gonna get to a pretty cool part right here.
Okay.
So after this, you end up in a ruin kind of place that has 4 pillars and they're connected to chains. And there's an altar kind of thing, and right in front of it is Barry. He's investigating it, doing something weird with it. You walk up to him, and of course you're kind of pissed off because he just left you in an in the elevator.
In the back. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And Barry turns around, grabs his gun, and puts it to his back, like you don't fucking know what it is. And he's like, Jill, you're alive. I was beginning to worry. This fucker points his gun at you. Okay, Jill already seen this coming, so she disarms him. Okay, disarms Barry, points his revolver at you.
Disarms him, and how?
Barry puts his revolver to your head.
Yeah. And
in a split second, she's able to disarm his revolver and point it back at him.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty badass. And he's like, no, I can explain. Trying to do everything he can to kind of stop you. And she's like, no, don't lie to me. Tell me everything. What's going on? And of course, in the background, you hear chains and you hear someone walking. And it's Lisa again. This is the last time you see her. She breaks down some statues, and Barry's like, I don't have time to talk. Just give me my gun back. And you have a choice. So at this moment, you can either give Barry his gun or keep it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Does a choice affect the story dramatically, or is this doesn't matter what you choose, it's the same thing?
It can change the ending, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna think about it for a minute and tell you what I would do. So it's coming at him, right? Or it's coming at you?
Yeah.
Lisa.
Well, both of y'all, yeah.
Okay, so Lisa is coming, and I can give Barry the gun back, which obviously if I give him the gun back, he would probably shoot down Lisa and kill Lisa for me. Okay.
Or you can keep the gun and do it yourself.
you know what? I'd probably... Damn it. See, here's a problem with games, because when in games, I want to play it as, like, the best way it should be played, which I know, for me, the best way for it to be played is to give him the gun back, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I might just fucking keep it, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah, because, like... Motherfucker, you left me, like...
Yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah. Like, you didn't run upstairs. You went up a fucking elevator. Like...
Leaving your ass, yeah.
If something would have happened. But I know you... In the game story, you're supposed to give him the gun back, I'm sure.
Well, actually... Well, canonically, yes.
Yeah.
But in this playthrough, she does. But if you don't, I believe, don't quote me on this, I didn't get to see what happens if you didn't.
You just get a big smile as he gets fucked up by Lisa?
I think he dies, actually.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, I think I think he dies by Lisa. But in this game, this theoretical game we're playing, we're going to give him the gun. So you give him the gun, and now you're fighting Lisa, and Barry's kind of throwing shots at him.
Mm-hmm.
You can't kill her. He can't kill her. The way you defeat her is, you remember the pillars I was telling you about? You have to knock over the pillars, and that will send her into a frenzy, and she'll grab something from the altar and fall to her death. What she grabs from the altar is her mother's remains, she was killed by Oswald by making the mansion. He wanted to close all loose ends. And that's kind of her end. That's where it ends.
She grabs her mother?
She grabs her mother's remains and falls to her death. Kind of, I mean, in this boss fight, she can fuck you up and do some serious damage to you. But you can't kill her, so I wouldn't recommend wasting any special ammo on her. And Barry's like, thank you, and let's go ahead and go. Of course, Jill's kind of half and half right now. A good way after this, I don't know if there's a boss after this. I kind of skipped over a boss entirely, which I'll kind of go back here. There's a big plant boss you can do. It's kind of like in a cutscene. Barry's like throwing some flamethrowers and shit at it, and in the cutscene, it dies in it, so that's why I didn't mention it. It's not really a boss, it's just kind of an event. But going back to present time, you do puzzles, you go through the mansion, going through the underground part now.
Are you doing it with Barry now, or?
I think from you doing it with him to this point, it's like a short amount of time. I think he's doing something else while you're going.
Is he expecting a body for an hour, not doing a damn thing?
So he's just sitting there twiddling his thumbs.
Yeah, isn't that what he was doing? That's what he was doing, right? He was looking at blood, or he's inspecting a body or something?
Basically, yeah, he's just checking out blood, hoping it's not Chris's. So, you go up to a cell because you're hearing something, and it's Chris. You find Chris. He's alive. He's being kept in a cell. And you can't open the door right now, but you're telling him, give me a little bit. Let me see if I can find a way to open it. The master of unlocking cannot open a cell door. Doesn't make any sense, but oh well. We move on. So you find Chris, but you can't get him out. Barry comes up and is like, is there a way we can open it? And she's like, no, we're going to have to find another way. You move on further down the underground lab. We're getting towards the end of the game, and then unlockables. I told you this was going to go by really quick. There's a cutscene to where you and Barry are walking up to Wesker in a lab. And she's like, Wesker, what's going on? And Barry pulls his fucking gun on you. So Barry pulls his gun on you. And that's not on type. And you're basically like, oh, okay.
So this fucker's been with Wesker the whole time.
This fucker's been with Wesker the whole time. And Wesker...
I made the right choice. I should have let him die by Lisa.
And Wesker's like, don't blame Barry for everything. I hear that his better half and two lovely daughters would be in danger if he didn't help me. So basically, Wesker threatened his wife and kids.
Oh, fuck you, dude.
Right?
I'd kill you anyway. Fuck
if he doesn't do everything.
Ugh.
And basically, you're calling Wesker pathetic and that you shouldn't worry, you're an asshole. Wesker devolves his entire plan, which I told you beforehand. I had to tell you because it would make more sense, and plus you already know Wesker's kind of a dick. But imagine hearing this and like...
Wesker's not a dick, dude.
He's awesome, but he's,
He ain't a dick.
He's bad.
Look, whatever Wesker does, I support him. I'm just saying.
But imagine hearing this in like 1996. Like on a PS1.
That'd be okay.
That'd be awesome.
Dude has like a fucking sunglasses inside a mansion.
Right? And Barry gets, Wesker shoots off Barry like, all right, you're done. Go away. And Wesker pulls his gun on you and basically says, I'm going to kill you now. All my plans in motion. All that's left is to kill your ass. And you hear gunshots going off. And some bullets land in Wesker. Barry grew a conscience. And started firing some shots at Wesker. And as Wesker's falling down because he's hurt, he hits a button. And you see a creature in the glass. Now I'm going to show you some pictures because it shows you in the cutscene. So you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Did it scroll? It did.
Yeah.
You see that? And that.
You see your face. Is it like Nemesis?
It's a prototype Nemesis, kind of. It's called Tyrant. This fucker is huge. Like, hold on. I'm going to see if I can get a scale representation of you. It's like twice your size. So he's a big fucker. And, he escapes from his cell. Now, if you chose to kill Barry, or if Barry's doing something else, I don't quite remember what, the Tyrant will stab Wesker.
Mm-hmm.
Like, full on impale him, and then, like, leave him for dead. And this one, he just kind of throws Wesker back, throws Barry back, and now you're at a boss. This is the pre-final boss.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a laboratory. It's like a big rectangle. There's like a big table, so all you have to do is run around in a loop. I'll tell you this right now. If you say...
Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
You just said there's a big laboratory, and all you gotta do is run around in a loop.
Yeah, that's all you can do is run around in a loop.
Okay. See, I'm asking this from like a amateur perspective or a, like, I don't want to say pro player, but like someone who's played it for a long time.
Yeah.
Is running around the loop the best way to beat him, or is like...
Well, the thing about him is he doesn't run. He walks like super slow. Mm-hmm. But when he gets close to you, he can do a shit ton of damage, swiping you, knocking you back.
When you first play the game, will you think of, I just need to run around this a bunch of times, or is that something that...
No, you have to shoot him. Like, you have to attack him, but when you can run down here, shoot him. When he gets too close, run down here, shoot him. Run down here, shoot him. It's a pretty easy boss.
Gotcha.
At this point. But if you save up your Magnum rounds, save up grenade launcher rounds, it's a piece of cake. It's not that... I mean, when you first play it, you're kind of shitting yourself going, how do I...
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You just...
Am I fucking you up?
No, but you said like there's a lab, and so he's running around this lab, whatnot. In my head, I'm thinking this lab's maybe twice as big as this room.
Yeah,
that's what I thought of.
Well, I would say about the size of your living room and kitchen.
you're like, just save up your grenade launchers,
right? Just throw a few grenades, you'll be fine.
Goddamn, dude. Okay.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
You're good. Welcome back to the Famous for Nothing podcast. To you guys, it's not a welcome back because this actually got cut. We did an episode, the second episode, about like 2 weeks ago, and it got cut middle way through. We was doing the podcast. My son had to go to the hospital, so I left, came back, and in the meantime, I went to a festival, broke my finger, so it's been a while.
A lot of shit happened at once.
Yeah, a lot of shit happened at once, so it's been like 3 weeks. But to you guys, it's been no time at all. But so what we're about to do is about to try to recap everything we just talked about on the last one, but it was 3 weeks ago, so give us a break. But let's go and do a quick recap if we can. All
right, what do you remember last so far? And I'll kind of do a few steps before.
That's not a good question to ask me. Just
all right, let's see what we can do. Okay. I remember last time you were saying that Barry's acting kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
So let's kind of back up a little.
I remember God, what do I remember? I remember, what's his face? Barry was not a bad guy, but he also was. You had a chance to kill him.
Yeah.
You didn't.
Yeah.
And
you have a chance to either take his gun or give it back to him.
Yeah.
Okay, we can skip past that then.
Yeah.
So basically, in the game, you meet up with Barry, and Barry's like, "Hey, I'm glad you're alive," and he pulls his gun on you, and Jill has a reflex, takes the gun away from him, and you have a choice now because Lisa Trevor's character, the big kind of reoccurring boss, comes back, and you either have a choice to give Barry his gun back and have him help you in the fight, or you take it and you use it, and I think he runs away, and you choose to give it back to him.
Maybe. But yes, but that's what we're going with now.
Yeah, and when you give it back to him, of course, you fight Lisa, which you can't kill her, so you have to pull off these 4 pillars that are connected to chains, and once you pull them off, she'll grab the remains of her mother and descend to her end. That's probably the best way I can say it. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Again, this game I'm not the most familiar with, but that's about the best way I can explain it. So you chose to trust Barry for right now. And of course, you're making your way through, and then you find Chris. Chris is alive, but he's against a cell door. So you try to open the door, and you can't. Being the master of unlocking, you can't open a cell door. Doesn't make any sense, but whatever. You say you're going to come back to it, and now we're at the final part. Ooh.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, when you said this last time, I think it was like we're at the final part, and then that's when all that stuff happened. Yep.
So this is kind of the end of all ends for this playthrough, and I say this playthrough. So you and Barry are running up against Wesker in a lab. This lab is full of like glass tubes. There's like a little island in the lab, and it's like a big square, kind of. And Wesker's right here in the corner. You're running up towards him, and you're like, "Wesker, what are you doing? I know you're up to something." And Barry pulls his gun on you, and Wesker's like, you don't know everything, and I bet Barry hasn't even told you everything. And it's basically confirmed that Barry has been a double agent.
Yeah.
He's working for Wesker and also trying to help you at the same time. Wesker captured his wife and kids, so he had no choice but to work with Wesker.
Oh, what a baby.
Right? I'm going to skip ahead a good bit because I said all the dialogue in the last one. And he mentioned something about a perfect species. And it's a big glass tube, and it holds like a huge creature. His heart is on the outside of his body. He has like huge claw of a hand. He's like all mangled and stuff. It looks like a huge wrong experiment. And Barry ends up shooting Wesker. Wesker trips, falls on the button, releasing the creature. And in one of the playthroughs, am I too loud, by the way?
No, you're good.
In one of the playthroughs, Wesker actually means to press the button, and the creature actually impales Wesker and leaves him for dead. That didn't happen in this one. In this one, he accidentally hits it. The creature smacks Barry, smacks Wesker, and it's left for you to deal with. This thing is called a tyrant. I don't know if you can see this picture quite well. It's a weird angle, but that's him. He's about twice your size. And he's meant to be like the big bad boss. He's not.
Wait, is this the one we fought in the lab?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, okay. And I was like, saving your rockets, and I was like, okay, you're like in the lab, and I was like, well, I was thinking of a lab, it was like probably twice the size of this, and you're like, oh, it was, and I was like, oh, you're shooting rockets in a fucking 20 by 20 fucking lab.
You're gonna do a lot more damage to the lab than you are to hit. Just start shooting holes and shit. You're missing every shot. But the lab is pretty like condensed. It would be a big lab if it wasn't for the island in the middle. But since it's so narrow now, you have to fight it in the close quarters you are. So he will walk up to you. He won't run. And you have to run up to one side, shoot him. Once he gets too close, run to the other side, shoot him. that basic stuff.
So this is a perfect experiment, but it has no.
He is supposed to be a perfect experiment, but evidently a lot of brain cells didn't grow well with him. So
what's also the E? What's where we don't have a lot of like oxygen, like when you're fighting and stuff. So I sound so dumb right now.
Endorphin?
No,
I have no idea.
No, I don't know, but his stamina is really low.
Yeah, basically, for now at least.
Yeah.
But whenever he hits you, he does a shit ton of damage. Like he'll put you from green to yellow, in like one hit. So he can be pretty tough if you don't know really what you're doing. But as long as you keep your distance, you're fine. And if you save up your magnum rounds, it's a piece of cake.
What if you shoot him in the dick?
I mean, he probably won't feel it, but
okay, that's a perfect experiment. Go ahead.
You're right. He's mastered the technique. So let's say you dealt with the creature and you have to escape. And what I mean by escape is that now there's a self-destruct sequence going on. Every Resident Evil game has a self-destruct sequence. You have to leave the facility or leave the area in like 5 to 10 minutes. It's in every Resident Evil game. It was in 5. It was in 4, it was in 3, it was in 2, it's in 1, it's in 6, it's in 7. Actually, is it in 7? Oh no. It's kind of in 7. But if you remember in 5 at the very end, you had to race at the very last level to get to Wesker, or else the whole thing's gonna blow up, that kind of thing. And you meet up with Chris again. Evidently you find a key to unlock him. And now you're racing to the rooftop. And on this way, to get to the rooftop, you're meeting up with like all kinds of enemies, crimson heads, hunters, all kinds of shit that's gonna really get in your way. And these like cricket enemies, they're like, you might not remember this, but in Resident Evil 5, there was like this kind of wasp character or like enemy that if you got too close to is an instant kill. They like stab your sides and shit. That's kind of like what you're going up against, but it's not an instant kill. Well, you make it to the rooftop and everybody's there, you, Barry, and Chris, and you hear like the big explosion from the ground, and it's the Tyrant again. And this Tyrant is a lot stronger. It's the same one, but since he died and came back, he's a lot stronger, he's a lot faster, he can run, and he can really fuck up your world.
And this is in the same time frame, right?
Yes.
So it wasn't like 3 days after or nothing?
No, this is like within like an hour.
Okay, make sure. Just gotta not teach this.
This is all in like a span of like maybe 12 hours.
Do you have any holes in his hands?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
No. So, he knocks, of course, Chris back, Barry back, and you're left to deal with him again. And you find out that he's a lot stronger. You can pump rounds into round and round and round. It's just not going to kill him. You had to do a certain amount of damage to him for the helicopter that was up around trying to rescue you. He's going to drop a rocket down at you, like a rocket launcher, like one of the old Vietnamese, like 4-cylinder ones. He drops that down for you, and you aim it at him, and when you shoot him, he deflects it with his claw. So it's like, well, shit. So when you shoot him again, he blows to bits, and we don't see him again. So this regeneration creature can survive bullet holes, but once a rocket hits him, he's dead. He's gone. That's it.
Okay.
Okay, you're believing it. All right.
Okay.
So, then you all go into the helicopter, escape, and the mansion on the outside blows up, like explodes into bits. And that is one of the endings you can get. This game has multiple endings because it has multiple characters, multiple things happening. So, technically, you beat the first game. You enter the helicopter and you escape. Now you get to the fun shit, and that is the aftermath, the playing through it again and again and again, because there's a lot of unlockables. First thing you can unlock when you first beat the game, you unlock if you don't play on easy, if you play on normal or hard, you unlock survival difficulty, and I'm trying to think, what else do you unlock? And then when you beat it on survival difficulty, you unlock invisible enemy difficulty, which all the enemies are invisible, even the bosses.
That's okay.
And
That's a bit much.
Yeah. And when you beat it on invisible enemy mode, you get like a little note that says like "Thank you for playing," and it shows like a picture of them all. It's
Oh yeah, that's worth it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That sounds like great torture.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. But it's an old game, so I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. If you beat the game on normal or hard or above under 5 hours, you get an infinite ammo handgun. Mm-hmm. If you beat it under 3 hours, you get an infinite ammo rocket launcher. So it makes going against the enemies a lot easier and playing through it over and over and over again. Because these games are meant to play it again faster, better, and just more just experienced. You also have all the achievements, unlock all the doors, get all the items and stuff, unlock all the doors. You can also get a alternate costume for Jill, which is the Resident Evil 3 outfit and the military gear. Doesn't have any stats or anything. It's just a cool little skin along with the new skin that you said on the last podcast. Mm-hmm. Chris also gets 2 of them, and I think Rebecca also gets one just for the hell of it. I don't know why. Because if you play as Chris, you can rescue Jill and Rebecca instead of Barry. Mm-hmm. Which there's also different endings. If you choose to save Barry, you don't save Barry. You save Chris, don't save Chris. The mansion blows up, doesn't blow up. All those are different endings. So there's a bunch of different endings you can get. And that's going to do it. That's really it. You can play the game over and over and over again, or you can just leave it be at that.
I don't know which game it is. I think it might be Resident Evil 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. But I know one of the endings is when you unlock Tofu, right?
Yep, that's 2.
Okay.
That's just a fun mode. You get to play as like a block of cheese, killing zombies and stuff. It's stupid, but it's funny because he speaks Japanese. No one knows why. He just speaks Japanese.
Wait, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he just speaks Japanese.
I wonder what he says in Japanese.
I don't know. I would love to know though. So technically, we just beat the first game.
Hey.
How you feel?
Good.
Confused as hell?
No,
I told you it's gonna go by fast.
Yeah. I felt like we had like 10 more minutes on the last podcast. We would have finished it.
I know.
Yeah, I didn't know we was that close.
Yeah, we were really, really close. I really wanted to get into more of the bonus stuff, but there really isn't that much bonus stuff. It's just more of, if this game is for you, there's this much more to it. But if it's not really for you, you just have to do all this other stuff, kind of thing.
Like what?
I mean, like play it through an invisible enemy mode.
Oh, that stuff.
Yeah,
gotcha.
That kind of stuff. So if this game isn't for you, you're not going to want to do these. You're just going to want to beat the game and get over with it. Mm-hmm. So how you feel? You feeling good?
Yeah. I want to play the games, but I also want to be able to Twitch the games as I play them.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be my reaction when I first play it and stuff. So and I've already had 2 people come up to me personally asking me if I was going to do it. So I got to figure out how to Twitch. Because I can do it from the PlayStation, just be record from the PlayStation, and that's it, and post it. But I also want to do facial reactions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
And that's what these games are all about, is your first time playing it.
Yeah. So obviously I kind of know what's happening because of the podcast, but. Yeah. But still, the first playthrough I think it would still be cool, and I want to be able to do that, but I don't know how to. Let's play. I guess you would call that kind of stuff.
Reaction playthrough. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to be able to do that. I just don't know how to set it up. So.
In time. Well, how far along are we so far? 5-10 minutes in?
And we're 15. Well, we're probably 45 minutes in on the actual podcast, but as of right now, we're about 15 minutes in.
Well, we got about 2 options. You want to just fuck around, or you may start on the second game? Because,
yeah, we should totally hold off on the second game.
You want to hold off on it?
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be a lot.
I mean, it's up to you. I don't really care.
I also don't want to start the second game and then break my other finger again and then have to wait 3 more weeks to remember what happened.
I mean, if we were just to start the second game, I wouldn't go far. It would just be enough to kind of get you started on it, and then you could play through the first one and then go from there. But that's up to you. I don't care. Whatever you want to do.
We should wait.
You want to wait?
Yeah, I feel like when we start the second game, I want to be able to actually get into it that way we can just talk about it for a while.
There you go.
So,
but yeah, we were really, really close. But that's really it. That's for Resident Evil HD remake, the remaster of the remake.
So I'm guessing as we get more into the games, the story's going to get longer and longer because I guess not only because of the way it was made, but Resident Evil 1 was on PlayStation 1.
Yep.
I'm
96.
sure when you get to like Resident Evil 4, there's gonna be like a lot more story just cause you can do that.
Well, it's a lot more. It's kind of weird. The first 3 were very interchangeable stories. Like there were many paths you could take, but there was one canonical story. With 4, 5, and 6, it's a lot more linear. Even with 7 and 8, it's a lot more of a linear story. There aren't many different endings and stuff. It's just trying to tell one cohesive story. So it does get more convoluted-ish. I mean, one story happens after the other, so it just kind of works together and that sort of thing. Like there isn't like the next game isn't going to be like that much bigger. It's just going to be this kind of story, and then the next game is this kind of story, and then the next one is this kind of story, kind of thing. But it'll all be one big kind of world in its end. But the reason why this podcast or this episode of Gamecast has been so hard for me is because this game isn't built around story. It's around the gameplay. It's around your experience with it. That's why when I showed you all of these screenshots that I took, I literally took a screenshot of every time this dude picked up an item, where he went, because I wanted you to, kind of get a picture of where you were going, what was happening. Like I was trying to get that when really it should have been like the story points and let you kind of go through it yourself.
Yeah, I probably should get like a TV mounted like right here. That way we can like get to it, and then when we're talking about whatever game or whatever, we can just like pull it up. I need a Jamie is what I need.
Yeah.
You know what Jamie is, right?
What?
Joe Rogan podcast. Like he's the guy. Jamie's the one behind. If Joe Rogan says something, like he's always pulling it up.
Yeah.
I need a Jamie.
Well, I mean, what you could do is, as you're talking about a game, just have like some gameplay of you playing it and just like edit it to be like right here.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Instead of like buying a big ass TV, because that wouldn't probably show up on a screen very well.
Yeah. Actually, I have I already have a TV. I wouldn't buy one. I just gotta do it. But then again, people like this. Yeah. I've heard people say they like it, so.
It's nice.
Yes, I like it. I like it too.
I like how you made this a big thing, like getting all these up and everything, and it was just 15 minutes.
To them, it's not 15 minutes.
No.
But yeah, speaking of Resident Evil, I like it so far. I just...
The first game is really hard to swallow, but once you get towards the newer ones, it's a lot easier.
I was going to try to compare that to Kingdom Hearts, but it's kind of opposite, but it's not. The first one is harder to get into because of the gameplay. Story's okay, but I guess later on, as you get more into like Kingdom Hearts, the gameplay does get a lot better, and the story gets a lot more like convoluted and confusing. It gets really like Chain of Memories is gonna be the next one of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah,
and it's pretty much one way too. Like it's not gonna get that confusing. Right after that is 2. Once you get to Kingdom Hearts 2, dude, like right middle of the way through, you start to realize like, oh, this is super confusing. like you start to see like the little hints of like why it's so convoluted, and from there on, it gets even more and more.
Yeah.
But it's so amazing. But yeah.
But one game I actually really want you to get into that's kind of like Resident Evil is The Evil Within 2. You can skip the first one. The first one's kind of... 2 is really good. It's an open world survival horror game. It kind of has the feel of Resident Evil 5 in a way, but you take your own pace. You can explore the world, grab ammo, supplies and stuff. And the more you progress through the story, the more fucked up the world gets. Like if you get to a certain part of the story, the world will like split in half, and more harder enemies will come after you. But by then you should have more upgrades to your character, so it just makes it a lot more fun. I think you'd like it, and it's like on sale like $6.
That's too much, dog.
Right?
It's too much. You can't do it.
I'll throw $90 at Elden Ring, but $6 no.
Yeah, there we go. Fucking, I don't know if I'm ever going to get Elden Ring. I probably will at some point.
I can't.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just too much time, dog. Too much time. Can't do it.
I mean, maybe if it comes on Switch for like the 10 frames per second mode.
No. Dude.
Did you hear the new VRR mode?
Mm-mm.
PlayStation just came out with an update. Games that were on PS5 now can run at 4K ray tracing with 40 frames now instead of 30.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That sounds like a new generation.
Right?
Which we're in, so it should be happening. But I'm trying to think of what else to say about Resident Evil.
I think once you start 2, 1 is kind of. I don't think if you play
Wait,
1.
Hold up. What happened to the chick I like? Veronica, I think is her name. Or
Rebecca?
Rebecca.
She doesn't play a part.
What was the last thing we saw of her in this?
Well, that was Resident Evil 0. 0, she played a big part. Rebecca was the woman that had a first day.
Just Resident Evil 1 by itself. What's the last thing we saw?
You don't see much of any of her playing as Jill. You see her more playing as Chris.
So
Jill's
is she even in the mansion?
Yes, she is in it because she was sent in as Alpha Team.
Okay, so did she escape with everybody at the end?
Canonically, yes. Gameplay, no. It's weird. None of the endings are canon in the game, but what canon actually happened, Chris, Barry, Jill, Rebecca, technically Wesker, escaped the mansion. And Brad.
So Rebecca made it out.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And
girl.
I only say that because she is literally in no other game.
It's fucked up, man. How you gonna do her like that?
She's in Resident Evil 5 Mercenaries mode. You can play as her. She has like a cool few combos and stuff, but that's really it. That's why people want her in the next game that comes out, because Chris has he has the first game, the 5th, Code Veronica, 8, 7, 6, and Rebecca has none. Barry has 2. Jill has 3 or 4. Leon has 5 or 6. But Rebecca only has 1. So people want Rebecca as the new one.
As of right now, Rebecca is still my favorite.
I really want you to check out Leon whenever we get to 2, which hopefully will be... When do you think we'll start on 2?
Not too sure. I'm not sure.
When do you think we're starting on the next Kingdom Hearts one?
Also not sure.
Are you even prepared for that one?
No, not even close. So we will talk about that off the podcast.
There you go.
Because that is actually going to be some planning, or some just planning beforehand before we start all that. So,
but I'm really excited to get to 2 because I think that one's gonna really click with you a lot more than 1, because
I still like 1.
Oh yeah, I mean, 1 is a lot more of dipping your toe in it. 2 is a lot more of the familiarity. They take the best aspects from every game and pretty much merge it into 1. And it's really cool.
Okay, so as far as playing the game, how should we do this? Should I finish the first game before going to 2?
Okay, this is
because if I'm doing that right, and then we get to Resident Evil 3, but I'm still playing Resident Evil 1, and
well, that's really your choice, because the game can get pretty long. You already know story-wise what happens, but these games aren't really big. The story doesn't really become a big thing until about 4. Once 4 happens, then the ball starts getting the roll about the story. Certain things happen, people die, that kind of thing.
People die?
Well, did you play 5?
What the hell, dude? People die?
Did you play 5?
Damn, man, this is getting dark.
Yeah.
Let me turn the red light on.
Sora dies in the first game. I don't want to hear it.
Dude, that's fucked up, man. Oh,
there you go.
You want to talk about people dying, man? You don't know nothing yet. This is very dark for a Disney game. That's all I'm going to say. But, yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and cut it here.
There you go.
There we go. We'll figure out what the next podcast is going to be. I think the next podcast might be just me talking to somebody again. Could be you, could be somebody else. That way I can kind of keep the game cast every other episode instead of just making it a full game cast podcast.
I'm just here for a backup. If no one else shows up, I'm just here.
How sweet. I haven't been asking nobody. I literally haven't been asking anybody.
It's because I'm taking up all your time.
Nah, it's just so much shit going on, constantly. But I mean, that's all personal shit. But me breaking my finger.
you want to show him that finger again?
Yeah, I'll show him the fucking finger again. It's my middle finger. You can't see this on the podcast, but I'm flipping you guys off.
Just blur it out.
You know how many fucking jokes I get now every day? You flipping somebody off? Is that what happened? God damn. It's Yeah.
Your finger got tired and it just broke.
No, yeah. Everyone's like, oh, you flipped the wrong person off. Just, God. Yeah. I've already heard that 3 times today. But,
Which, by the way, happy Mother's Day. It is now May 8th.
Thank you. My tits haven't grown in because, breastfeeding and all. Mm-hmm. But
it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard to be a mom sometimes. Yeah. Fucking.
Mother to one.
What?
Mother to one.
Yeah. But yes, guys, thank you for coming back. Even though you didn't actually come back, you just watched the episode. But
how are you going to edit it? Are you going to keep the actual, like...
No, I'm not going to... No. The whole situation of what happened... I can go and tell you guys what happened in. Someone came in during the podcast while we was filming it and said that my son is, like, going to the hospital. And it was not good. We had to leave.
Well, what was scary was your phone kept buzzing throughout the entire thing.
Yeah, my phone actually kept going off, and I thought it was my girlfriend calling me to see if I needed food after work, because she'd do that, because she's really sweet. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, I was just like, I'm not hungry. But it did...
Leave me alone.
Yeah,
but really, it was...
Yeah, it was actually an emergency going on, and so that's what happened. So that's why it's also been like 3 weeks, because festival, broken finger, and then got cut off last time during the middle of a podcast.
We were just trying to find a good way to end it off. Yeah.
So this is actually all supposed to be one episode. I'm just gonna cut it together, find a little sweet spot, put it in there. But sorry you had to hear a recap at the very end of literally what you just heard, but but I had to remember. I'm sorry. But thank you for listening to this Famous for Nothing podcast. Also, Gamecast. Is this only part 2?
Yes, because the first one was with Jose.
Yeah, this is only part 2. Huh.
I had a feeling it's gonna go by pretty quick, but 2 will be a lot longer because I am very familiar with 2. Okay. I know the back of my hand.
That's fine. More episodes.
Here you go. And Kingdom Hearts will be next for Gamecast.
Yeah, but I think Chain of Memories is gonna be a lot shorter than episode 1 because it's just a shorter game. And that is it. Thank you. Oh, sorry, I just burped.
And we're still going on the live stream.
We're going live stream. Before I go off on the live stream, I'm still twitching like right now. This is my first time doing it, and I'm giving it a shot. Technically second, but like we just recorded another podcast right before this one. And we've had one dedicated viewer this entire time. Like, during the whole podcast, and it's been great.
It made your day.
Yeah.
It was great.
I was like, who is this dedicated person watching me right now? And then it clicked on me that, like, I'm watching myself on my computer, and I'm my own dedicated viewer right now. So,
you are your own worst fan.
Damn.
It just ruined your day. It brought your whole mood down.
I mean, it's still one dedicated view, I guess. It counts somewhere. But if anyone did come in and tune in for a bit and leave or whatever, if there are any church people still watching right here, then thank you. And the people who stayed tuned till the very end of this podcast. This is my 3rd time trying to end this. I just keep going on rants. I'm sorry. This is Famous for Nothing podcast, Gamecast part 2. Thank you for tuning in, and I love you guys. You're so beautiful. Goodbye.